Right, so we have this game here where we can manipulate the hero's energy based on things that happen to him. Right? And so what I want to go back to is now talking about functions. And if you remember, functions serve two purposes. First one is it makes your program easier to read. And the second one is that it results in more efficient code because now we are writing once and reading many times. So this is a good place in our program where we can use functions to make our program easier to read. So if we come over here and we look at our program, we would look at this code here and we would say, hey, wait a second, I'm not sure what's going on there exactly. Are we plussing or are we minusing energy? What exactly is happening? Right? So a good way to make this program easier to read is instead create a function definition. And right here, we're going to have it called like maybe yeah, we can call it like change energy, right? And in the change energy, we're going to pass it the value that we want to change the energy by. So in this case, we want to change the energy by 10, so we can pass in a 10. Right? And now we need to write the change energy function. So if we come to the very top of our program, we could say change energy, and we need to take in the change by, right? So we're going to say a number, or maybe we can call it diff for difference. And in here, we're going to do what we did right here. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and copy this, or maybe I can just cut it out. Come to the top, paste it in, and now we need to say global energy so that this function definition knows that when we talk about energy, we're talking about the global variable. And we also want to use difference, right? We want to use difference right here, not change energy by 10, but change energy by whatever is being passed in as an argument to change energy. So that means when we run change energy here, it's going to go and jump up to the change energy function definition. Diff is going to be equal to 10. Then we're going to change the energy, the global energy, by 10. And then we're going to print out the hero's name now has this much energy. So I guess we also need the name global variable too. So we want to add that to our list of global variables here in this function definition. Okay. So now that we did that, we can use the change energy function definition everywhere, right? But I guess before we do that, we should probably check to see if it works. So let's go ahead and run it. Daniel, I'm going to run for the hills because that's this function, what causes this function definition to run. So I'm going to choose option 1, and it works, right? So here he drinks some water. It's so refreshing. Daniel now has 110 energy points. So this function definition worked. And notice here that instead of us writing 2 lines of code, we can now just write 1 line of code, right? So not only does our function make our program easier to read, but it also results in more efficient code because we are writing the code once and we're reading it many times. Okay. So instead of writing 4 lines of code here, we could just write 2 lines of code. So we save energy and we do -50 because here we want to change it by -50. Right? So let's go ahead and delete those 2 lines of code. And now we're ready to go. So again, when it gets down to line 55, it's going to jump up to the function definition for change energy. Diff is going to be equal to -50. And then it's going to say energy is equal to energy plus, but diff in this case is going to be equal to -50. So it's actually going to do a minus. It's going to do energy minus 50. Right? So let's go ahead and check to see if that works. Let's run this. Enter my name. Type in 1 for run for the hills, and it does work, right? So I have 110 energy points, and then I have 60 energy points. So why don't you go ahead and do the similar thing in your program, which is to create a function definition that will change the variable that we created in the last task by whatever is being passed in as an argument to that function definition. And then we can go ahead and print out, oh, that characteristic has changed. Oh, your sugar level has gone down. Oh, your money has gone up, right? Or in this case, we could say, oh, you now have this much energy. So let's go ahead and make those changes in the rest of our program, and then we can move forward in the project.